far bigger things in our world to worry about right now than a little computer glitch.
Yeah, of course. Hi, everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome. We're live. Sorry, that was like I was trying to make it happen. Yeah,
that was a good intro.
yeah. Really kind of caught me off guard there. It just sort of happened. I apologize. Well, we're back with our Thursday Q&A. It's another like banger of a guest. Like we've just been banging them out like crazy and making sure we get good people to put in front of you. Today we have an incredible human being. Mary Dilly is a Burlington resident since 1990 and an expert in helping families downsize with ease and compassion. Mary specializes in creating solutions that not only simplify the process, but also give back by donating items to local charities and keeping them out of landfills, which is wonderful. If you know anybody that's feeling overwhelmed by the idea of downsizing or hoarder situations or various different things, and we'll get into that as to what that means, let Mary know, and she'll help you out for sure. Mary, how are you?
Good. Can you say all that at my memorial service?
Yeah, just I only charge $50 an hour for that type of service.
Okay, so
That's
then
fine.
I'll cut your speech down a little bit. Hi,
Perfect.
thanks for
That's
having
fine.
me. Hi, Karen. Did you ride your bike to work today, Karen? I see it in the background.
I
Yeah.
did actually. It was warm enough because went down to -3 today. So I was wearing my shorts and my bike.
Yeah,
Freezing.
it's a
freezing.
Canadian summer. It's fine.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fine.
It's
Mary, I just want to dive in. We've got 30 minutes. Let's get going and let
Sure.
people know what you're doing. So the idea here is it's a downsizing solution to help people declutter, get rid of things. Before we get into that stuff,
Sure.
I've been, well, I'm Karen's son, so I've been on my mom's team for 47 or 45 years, I should say.
Yeah.
Right. So technically speaking, I always tell people when they say, how long have you been in real estate? I go, 45 years. And they look at me like, you don't look that old. And I'm like, no, I'm 45 years old.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyhow, so having been in real estate for that long and been in this family for that long, Mary Dilly has been a name that's been tossed around my house a lot because you were obviously a part of Snap magazine for 8 years, as I recall.
Yep.
Right, which was a wonderful Burlington publication, and if it wasn't for the internet, I'm sure that would probably still exist.
Yeah. Actually,
And
COVID killed it.
yeah, COVID killed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what leads someone to have an illustrious career in other ways in the media and various different things to this? Because you told me a little bit about this story, and I really feel like it's an awesome, interesting story, and I think the people need to hear it.
So, so I've been very, very lucky in my life. Every single career I've had has been successful, and I've loved every single one of them. So I did 20 years in a law firm as a legal assistant. And then I went back to school and became a professional fundraiser for 12 years. Then I was approached to sell advertising, which I had never done before, but I did that for 8 years, and I was successful in everything because I loved everything I did. And then I hit a job that I didn't love. I didn't love the boss. And I've always said to myself, I will not work for assholes.
Mm.
And I ended up,
Did we have a bleep there?
Beep. We don't have a button for that.
Karen, you know me. You invited me.
Yes.
So sit back. Anyway, I always said I would never work for someone who was mean, and so I quit. And I quit one day on a Friday afternoon. I was driving home. I called my best friend, Kathy Lovett, God love her. And I said, oh my God, I just quit my job. What am I going to do now? And she said, do you remember 5 months ago when my dad died? And we hired a woman to come in to clean up the estate, ship things to, her brother and her, and fix everything up and take away all the stress. And Kathy said, you would be great at that. So I met with 7 of my girlfriends that weekend. And I said to each and every one of them, this is what I'm thinking of doing. What do you think? Because you know me. And we're good enough friends that you'll say, oh my God, Mary, no. Or you'll say, yes, I think that would be great. Every single one of them said, oh my God, Mary, you'd be perfect at that. Mm-hmm. So that's how I got into this. And I love it. And I've just hit 5 years. LinkedIn just reminded me today that I think today is like 5 years or something. So I have the best team. That's the big thing. I've got the best team in the world, and we win all the awards. And I'll tell you, it's not me. It is not me winning those awards. It's my team.
Yeah.
So that's how I came into it. And also when I hire everyone, I say to them, and I've had to fire a cousin, like it's been, it's kind of hard. But whenever I hire someone, I say, listen, if I ever am an asshole, you tell me, because I want you to tell me and not anybody else. And they've only told me once in 5 years, but they all showed up at my door one evening with food and wine. And I opened the door and they said, we're here to tell you something.
What's the best intervention I think I could have ever expected? That's
Yeah,
amazing.
because they brought wine. If they
Yeah,
had
of course.
brought wine, it would have
Soften
been
the
bad.
blow.
Yeah, yeah. So only once in 5 years.
Do they bring a toy boy too? No.
No, no, just the wine and the
Mary?
food. Yeah.
Okay, so dive into what it is you do. Like, give me the elevator pitch so we can start there, and then we'll build off of that.
Okay, so it has morphed over the 5 years. So when I started it, I wanted to help people downsize so that they could move or estate clear outs. We don't do a lot of hoarding situations. I have a secret weapon on my team, and I only bring her in for hoarding situations, and she loves it. I don't know why, but we can handle that. So we'll come in and we'll downsize. 80% of our clients are seniors, but we do a lot of moves. Like we've done one for you, Justin.
Yep.
Moved that great couple up north.
Yep.
So typically what we do is we come in and we meet the client and we talk to them about what they want to do. If they're going to retirement home, I can refer retirement homes. I take them for lunch, the retirement homes. That's kind of fun. But we'll downsize them and then we'll prep the house for sale. So we work with a lot of real estate agents where we come in and we prep the house for sale. We don't do staging. No staging, but we will come in, we'll take all, the picture of Aunt Martha off the fireplace and all the knickknacks away, and we put all the personal pictures away, the knives in the kitchen, the booze, that kind of stuff. And then we walk away, and then the real estate agent comes in with their stager and they stage the place.
Yeah.
And movers will come in, we'll take all the donations away. And like you said, I donate to women moving out of Halton Women's Place and new refugee families. We just did 6 families from the Ukraine. Oh my God, they were lovely. I want to take them all home. We did a bunch of families from, I think it was Afghanistan a couple of years ago, 18 families, and they all had 5 to 9 kids.
Wow.
I told the men, that's it. No more, no more.
Yeah, no more. Be
And
done
the
with it.
women and the wives were standing behind them going. Anyway, I went back in September to one of the families. They had 5 kids. And I went back in September and I said, look, I want to adopt your kids for Christmas. Make a list. What do they want? And we'll get it for you. And the man said, we are so lucky. We have been so blessed. Find a family that needs it. Like these people are, anyone who says to me, we don't want new refugees in our country, you'll meet the other Mary Dilly. She doesn't come out often, but when she does, you don't want to meet her. Anyway, so we'll prep the houses for sale. Then when the people have sold the home, we go back in, we pack them all up and we move them. But this is the fun part. When we move them, we're not just a normal moving company. We're a boutique moving company. When we move them, we set them up. So we unpack all the boxes.
Wow.
We hang all the pictures. We hang the TVs. My movers will hang the TV. No other movers will do that. And we make the beds so that when they come in at the end of the day, we're there, the team is there, because we always want to be there for the big reveal. And they come in and they start to cry because moving is stressful. It's up there like divorce and death. And so the kids take them away or they go away for the day. They come in at the end of the day and everything's done for them. And when I move people from home to home, not home to retirement or sometimes home to condo, I bring in dinner. I don't cook it. It's not me. So don't be worried. But I bring in dinner and from one of our local caterers and we have it in the oven for them. So when they walk in the door at 4:30, the lasagna is cooking in the oven. I mean, it's great. And then we do estate clear outs. We do a lot, especially in the winter, unfortunately. We move people internally in retirement homes. We did a family once. We moved them from a home to a condo to retirement, 2-bedroom. The dad died. Then we moved the mother to the 1-bedroom. in the same retirement home. And then eventually we did her estate clear out. So when I started this, I thought it would be, one and done.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's really
Mm.
not. We do the parents, then the kids are there and they go, hey, wait a second. Can
Yeah.
you come to our house?
Well, look at it this way. I mean, you've got families. I know, just looking at our house, and the stuff we've accumulated over the years.
Everybody
And
does.
now we have to move, and it's like, ugh. And I also have a job. My wife has a
Yep.
job. Our kids are not old enough to fully help yet necessarily. They can, but not like fully. So it's like it becomes a situation where, well, how do we do this?
Yeah.
How do we move, And I'll give you the example of the people that we used you for, because that was really amazing. They were in their retirement sort of age, but their whole problem was the wife was going through a bit of cancer and
Yes.
had some medical issues relating to that, and the husband had a bit of an accident and done something to his back, so he literally couldn't carry or lift anything.
Yeah.
And when they met with us the first time as realtors, they were actually quite embarrassed about what their basement looked like, because they were like, there is a pile of crap here that we can't do anything with because I'm not unable to lift. He's unable to lift. What do we do here?
Yeah.
And my toolbox came out, and Mary Dilly's name was sitting right on top of the toolbox. And I went, we're going to bring in Mary.
Yeah.
Right.
And their basement wasn't bad.
It wasn't that bad, actually. No, there was a one pile in the middle of the room. But,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, the reality in that situation was that we allowed them to move to their next home, their downsize home from there in South Burlington up to, I think they moved to Aurelia.
Yeah.
And they didn't have to stress. They
Yeah.
like all they were doing, like part of the process for you, as I recall, was like, that's going to the garbage, that's coming with us, that's going to charity. And it was just like pointing and saying that one of those things, charity, garbage, coming with.
Yeah.
And you guys just made it happen.
Yeah. And the best thing about you on that one, that was the first time we ever worked together.
Yeah.
Best part about you was that they hired you and you took care of everything. You
Yeah.
hired me, you brought the painter in, you brought the cleaner in for the bathroom. So they just had to sit back and they didn't have to worry about, what time is the carpet guy coming? Like you took care of all of that.
Mhm.
I'll tell you, if there's one thing I've learned, and I've learned a lot, I could write a book. I've met Christian Grey right here in Burlington. I'll tell you that one
Oh.
afterwards. Yeah.
I don't know. I think I know what that means.
Oh yeah, you know exactly what that means. The
Hmm.
door was locked. Anyway, I got in. But anyway, the one thing I'll tell you is that if you think you're going to move in 2 to 5 years, call now, because you can do a room a month, you can do a room a week. God forbid something happens to you, you fall down the stairs or you have a car accident or someone passes away, and then you're in a panic. So do it now and do it over time if you want. We just had a lady, lovely, lovely lady, and she hadn't talked to her dad in a couple of years. She hadn't gone to see him. He lived here in Burlington. And he passed away, and he left her as executor in his will. And of course, she gets a call from the lawyer and goes to the house. And the guy hadn't done anything in the house in years. And it was a bit of a hoarder situation. And we helped her. It was a huge job. It cost her a ton of money because we were there over a week. I had movers on 2 days taking shit away from and nothing got donated, unfortunately. And I said to her at one point, I said, how are you doing? Because I said, man, this is not your usual happy move. I'm moving to a new house with a pool and the kids get to start a new school. This is a sad clear out and a sad move. And she said to me, she said, I want to mourn my father. I'm going to cry. She said, I want to mourn my father. But she said, I'm so mad at him.
Mm.
She said, I'm so mad at him for leaving this for me to take care of.
Mm.
So my one word of advice, get on it. And it's fun. I mean, I'm telling you, I tell everyone, we're going to come in, you're going to have fun with us. And they all say, no, we're not. And
But
at
you
the
see
end,
what that does for you,
No,
though.
I hear that often from
Yeah.
children when their parents pass away.
oh,
I hear it so often. I walk in the house and they say, oh, I'm so mad at my parent or
oh yeah,
my father for leaving it like this.
yeah,
I told them to start cleaning up and decluttering and weeding out what they want. And now it's our job and we don't want to do this. and
I know.
it's often.
Well,
So
And then,
it's a whole other, given that you have to hire you to do it, that would mean that it's a whole other job to
yeah,
yeah,
have to do those things. So for me, as a son, the house is there. I don't want to have to, I can't, I don't have time.
yeah,
So what are my solutions out there? And I don't think people know enough about this solution,
yeah.
right? I don't think it's as readily available, as readily openly advertised as we need it to be.
No, I
Because,
have half of my clients, if not more, say to me, if I'd known about this service, I would have moved 5 years ago.
well, and 5 years ago, I
it's,
had a hoarder on
isn't
our.
that amazing,
Yeah,
eh?
yeah.
Yeah,
And 5 years ago, I had a hoarder that we dealt with prior to you being around, and we didn't know what to do at the
yeah,
time. It was like, what the heck? We found a service that eventually did this.
yeah,
We were up in Georgetown, so it was way up there, and we used the company up there. But the point is like, I didn't know this existed, and I've been at that time in real estate for 15 years,
yeah,
and I had no idea this type of service existed. So,
yeah.
I think this is an incredible service. I think there's value in it at a lot of different levels. It doesn't just have to be for old folks retiring and moving
No,
down, or
no, it's
someone
everybody.
passes away. It can be, there's lots of different scenarios where this works. We've
Yeah,
Well,
had
well, the couple that we're dealing with
That's
in
exactly what I was going to say.
Lauderdale,
Yeah.
they're in their 40s.
yeah,
Yeah.
And I hate to say this, but it's one of those things that they keep collecting, and they've only been there for 10 years, and they keep
yeah.
collecting, and they have all kinds of things that their children have grown, so they
They're out
just
of the house and they
stuff.
left everything behind.
They
And
just, and it's
Yeah.
and
rampant.
those kids, half the time, the people will say to me, "Oh, this is my daughter's bedroom," and you open the door and it's packed with stuff. And I say, "Where's your daughter?" "Well, she moved out 6 years ago." You know what? Tell her by Thursday, if she doesn't come to pick up her stuff, it's out of here.
Mhm.
I've been in my house 12 years and I've got my narcissistic wall behind me. But my cupboard's over there. I don't even want to show you my cupboard. And the cats, I don't know how I keep getting cats in this house, but um, everybody
I was going to tell Justin, no. I was going to say, Justin, wait till I die and you have to go to
Oh,
my
you know
house.
what? Your house is pretty clean though.
Yeah, but it's the cameras and all the stuff that I've collected over the years, right?
Yeah,
Traveling.
yeah.
Yeah.
And another thing is the parents always assume that they'll just leave everything to their kids, but your kids don't want it. My kids, my mom was an antique
Right.
dealer. I have all Quebec pine in my home. I have beautiful, beautiful pieces. The only thing those buggers want is my new Ford Bronco. So I said, I have two cemetery plots in the Air Cemetery. I'm getting buried in the Ford Bronco, probably with all the cats. And every time they walk across the grave, the car is going to beep. They don't want my silverware because you can't put it in the dishwasher. So all these parents are saying, I really wanted my kids to have that. So it helps when we come in and we say, we can donate this to a family. We donated a dining room set. The guy wanted us to sell it. I got my calculator out. I said, what did you pay for it? What year did you buy it? I said, you have this entire dining room set, 12
Yeah.
chairs, table, buffet, hutch, has cost you $3.65 a year. Donate it. So I donated it to a new immigrant family.
Mhm.
They sent us a picture of the whole family having
Sitting
dinner.
around yeah.
And
Lovely.
the man cried. He said,
Mm.
so when we can go in and we say, look, our rotten kids, because I do that all the time, our rotten kids don't want the stuff. Let me donate it to a woman moving out of Halton Women's Place who has nothing. And it makes them feel so much better.
Mhm.
So that's the
Well, and
biggest
I think
challenge.
that's part of it. When we sell old folks' houses, a lot of times they're very concerned about what's going to
Oh
happen
yeah.
with the house.
Oh yeah.
Like there's people that have been in their house for 50 years. It's completely original. They grew their kids there, all the things. And now they're like, I don't want it to be knocked down. And they'll choose a family over a builder because they don't want the house to be destroyed.
Yeah.
It's
And we've had
awful.
that happen lots of times. And so this is the same idea. They want to know the value, the true value. And I think we live in a throwaway society now.
Yeah.
All this crap, all the stuff that we own and the things that we have are
Yeah.
cheaply made and they can be thrown away so easily.
Yeah.
The stuff that was made 30, 40, 50 years ago that's still today around in these people's houses is good quality stuff.
And
And
they
they had
take
a
such
different
good care
mentality
of
about it.
everything.
Mm,
Their dining room tables don't have a scratch on them.
not even. Yeah. Yeah.
I say my
So
kids didn't grow up in that house.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, Justin probably remembers that we had a Duncan Fife dining room
Oh,
table that
yeah,
I paid an arm, a leg, and a fortune for, and we had to put a pad on top of
yeah.
the table.
They all
I
have a
remember all of
pad.
that. I didn't
But
know
do
the
you
name of
remember?
it.
Do you
I remember the
remember?
table, but
You remember the nanny so the Filipino nanny came and she had washed it with soap and water. And and it was the funniest thing. It wasn't funny at the time, but
Oh,
well, I'm sure my dad was
no.
really happy about that.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But
anyway, it
but
was
the other part of
so
it is, go ahead, Karen.
so so fun conversation, absolutely. But Mary, yes, you could write a book and oh boy, you must meet a lot of interesting people.
Yeah.
And tough times to deal with people right now because financially a lot of people are in duress and so how do you handle that? How do you handle they call you and they say we need help, but we don't have the money to really pay you right now. What's your suggestion on that? Because it's we run into it a lot. So
Okay. I don't run into it a lot.
okay,
I
okay.
have to tell you. I've been very lucky.
Yeah,
I've done a couple of pro bono cases. I don't advertise that, but we have, just because I'll go to my team and I'll say, this woman really needs help, and what do you think? And they all say, we'll come Saturday and do it. And but I don't advertise that a lot. However, what I do say to families is there are certain processes. So you got to downsize. You can't put your house on the market if it's filled with stuff, because as you know, people will come in, they don't see the bay window, they don't see the beautiful hardwood
yeah,
floors. All
yeah,
they see is the stuff, and they can't feel like they can move in the house. So you have to downsize before the house goes on the market. So I say to everyone, look, if you've got limited resources, pay us to do the downsizing. Pay us to do the packing for the move. Because if you're moving to a smaller place and your kids are helping you, take everything. You want that, mom? Take that. Oh, okay, mom. Because your kids don't want you to change your mind about the move.
yeah,
And then you don't want it to be a shit show on the other end because it's stressful enough. So I say, look, if you've got kids and they can rent a U-Haul and they can move your stuff,
yeah,
perfect. But if you're going to spend any money, spend it on us coming in and downsizing you and prepping you for the move.
yeah.
That's
Good answer.
yeah,
Good answer for
yeah,
sure. Yeah, because it's interesting because people will say to us, we have this amount of money to spend on getting the house ready.
yeah, yeah. And they
At the
do.
end of the day, what are you going to do otherwise? Like,
Mhm.
what choice do you have if you don't do this?
Yeah.
Is it
But
do it yourself? And how long is that going to take? How much time do you burn in your day? How much
yeah,
job are you going to miss because of that? There's so many different factors to play into it. At the end of the day, this is a valuable service that is required in a lot of scenarios. And
yeah.
quite frankly, I think there's more people that need this than we think
Mm.
and can use this thing. I have a very serious question for you, though.
Uh-oh.
What is the
Is
craziest
it
thing
where
you've
I get
ever?
my hair done?
Well, no, your hair does look lovely today, though, I
Thank
will
you.
say. What is the craziest thing you've ever found?
Oh, Christian Grey. So
Oh,
we
so
did
literally that's the thing.
the craziest thing. So we did this. Do we have time? We did this
We
house.
have time.
We did this house in Burlington. It was a real estate referral. I'm not going to say who the agent was, but we laugh about it to this day. I was going through the house with this guy, and we came, I have to go in every room. I have to look in the cupboards. I have to look in the rooms because I have to make an estimate of how much this is going to cost us. So we were in the basement, and I went up to a door, and I, turned the handle, and I said, "Oh, the door's locked." And he said, "Yeah, yeah, don't
So
worry
hang
about it."
on. You older guy, like retired guy?
No, he was about 50.
Okay. Okay.
So I
I
said,
want to hear this.
he was kind of cute too. And so I said, well, no, I need to see in the room because I need to know how much to charge you to pack everything up. He goes, that, don't worry about that room. And I turned to him and I said, oh my God, are you Christian Grey? And he said, I might be. I said, open the door. So he opened the door. I got to tell you, I was like Alice in Wonderland. And I'm 65 in June. I grew up in the 70s and 80s. So there's not a lot you can get past me.
Yeah.
Okay. I was a
Yeah.
private boarding school girl. Like,
I
hello.
get it. I get it.
there were things in there. I would say, what is that? What, how, what? So, we were moving that room. So I packed the room up. I did not make my team do it.
Yeah.
And I packed it all up. It was quite something. And we moved it to the new house.
And did you reset up the room in the new?
Yep, yep.
You did not.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I wore gloves and I had
So amazing.
little
I
booties.
love that.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was
The thing is we're all who we are. It is what it is. Like, what are you gonna do? The guy
No
likes that
judgment.
stuff. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't want to tell you that I might have, got some ideas. Yeah, I don't want to tell you that.
This is what you warned us about.
Yeah, yeah, it is. You know me. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. Yeah, just I think everybody essentially is the same. Everybody has stuff in their closets. Everybody has 85 photo albums, the older people. We're all literally the same, just living in different houses.
Agreed.
And we all have the same fears and concerns. And when my team comes in, boy, we get that. And we're the same as them. So
Yeah.
we get it. So every house and every human being deserves the respect to be treated with respect, no matter what their
Exactly.
situation is.
Beautiful.
We have seen a
Well
lot,
said.
yeah, we've seen a lot of mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Justin,
Mm-hmm.
oh my God, you know what I'm going to say.
Mm.
We did a move and the people had mental illness and it was a very, very difficult move for the team and for me, really difficult.
Yes.
Yeah.
After the move, I sent this email to the team, the whole team, and one of my movers' name is Justin. So I sent this long email and I said, hey, you guys, I just want to thank you for this move. And I want to tell you that, you treated our clients with such respect and there was such mental illness in this move. Like we did not want to do it. We were not happy. And it was really stressful for us. And I sent them this long email about, they treated the clients with dignity and respect and blah, blah, and thank you so much and blah, blah, blah. I sent it to Justin Lonkark instead of my mover, Justin. Justin emails me right back and says, hey, Mary, I don't think you meant to send this to me. And right away, I was like, oh my God, what did I say?
You know what though? It wasn't anything. I didn't even, first of all, I barely read it because I was like, it's probably not for me. I'm not going to read it. So I don't
We
even
should have.
know.
It was a nice one.
Well, maybe I'll go back and read it. I don't even know
Yeah.
if I think I deleted it, but
Oh.
it was nice to see that little window into, what it is, how much you care.
Yeah.
Right. Because there was a little bit of that in there. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. Right.
As,
Like
as far as an employer is concerned, to an employee.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I'm not an asshole.
Not an asshole.
No, no.
Not
No,
all the time.
no.
Yeah, and I will say
it's funny
this.
because I've never, I can't say that word. I'm never an asshole, but but I gotta say that I've always treated my employees or my agents. I don't even say employees. I say the people
Yeah.
that I work with,
Yeah.
and that's important. But I think, Mary, that I mean, I can, in my days of knowing you, you have always been so good to people. I mean, you helped at the churches with the meetings. You helped. I mean, you were always there. And I remember you coming up to me and saying, "I can be your advertiser. I can put together advertising for you, and I can do this and I can do that." And I was so thrilled that you even offered. We talked about it, and it just
We
didn't.
did, and we did a couple.
Yeah.
Funny,
Yeah.
Justin, I was driving up Guelph Line one day and Karen and I had only met like a few times. We weren't advertising together with Snap yet or anything. But I've always loved her. Like she scares the shit out of me, even to
He
this
does
day.
that to me too. It's fine.
Yeah, okay. But I've always loved her. So she had this great big billboard up on the side of Guelph Line.
Yeah.
And I didn't like it. And I drove past it and I thought about it and thought about it and it was bugging me and bugging me. I picked up the phone or I emailed her. And I said, Karen Paul, this is Mary Dilly. I don't know if you remember me, but I said, I want to talk to you about your billboard on Guelph Line. I said, I don't think it's good advertising. I don't know who advised, and I wasn't even selling advertising at that point. I
Yeah,
said, I don't think it's good. And I told her why I didn't think it was good.
yeah.
She
I think
never,
and
she
that's
never
what I
got
love
back to
about you,
me.
Mary, because you're very direct and very honest, and there's no bullshit,
Yeah.
and you must do that with your clients. You say this is this, and you have to be like that. Like, I watch I take note of myself when I walk into houses now, and I go, you have to do this. If you don't do it, and there was a time when I didn't do that.
Right.
I used to dance around clients and say, okay, yeah, that looks great. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that looks
Yeah.
superb. And it really looked awful, right?
Yeah. No, I tell the clients and very nicely, but I say, I'm not here to be your friend.
Mhm.
I'm here to help you. And
Mhm.
the hardest thing I have is that people have Royal Daltons, they have teacups, they have, dishes, they have crystal, and nobody wants it. And I'm the one that has to tell them, I can donate this for you. And people will say to me, will you put it on Marketplace? Will you have a big auction? And I will tell them, listen, I'll do it if you insist, but it's going to cost you more
Yeah.
for us to do this than you're going to get for the stuff. And if you have, if you put it on Marketplace and somebody wants to come to your house at 8:30 at night, you can't be alone. They're going to come, they're going to offer you half, or they're not going to show up, or they're going to bring a buddy who, while that person is giving you $20 for your grand piano, the buddy's walking around your house, checking everything else out. So
Yeah.
the hardest thing I have to do is say, please just don't, like the guy with the dining room table, cost you $3.65 a year.
I love
Yeah.
that math, by the way. That's really
Donate it.
cool math. Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
that with your mother when she says, oh, I can't throw that out. Just say, when did you buy that? And
I've
what
already got my eye on some of the stuff in her house anyway. It's mine.
Okay.
I get it.
I know a really good moving company that can move that for you.
That's amazing.
Okay.
I
I'm
have one
not
last quick
dead
question,
yet.
and we have to finish on a high note. I'll also say one day, Mary, I'll tell you about one of Karen's ideas for a billboard, and you and I will laugh and we'll laugh, maybe off the air. It was a bad idea. Just put it that way.
Well, listen,
Anyway,
I'll tell you one day that I told her about a whole advertising thing and she didn't do it, and she would have rocked it.
well, we'll have that conversation now.
Okay.
Really quick
Let's
question:
talk about it again.
if your company, if someone was like a relatively wealthy person that literally just wanted to move and didn't want to lift a finger, you could also handle that type of job too.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool.
And
Awesome.
if you're not wealthy and you just need your house prep for sale, I can send one downsizer in for 4 hours. And
Right.
the difference we can make in 4 hours,
That's
a
incredible.
lot of real estate agents will hire us just to come in to prep the house.
Maybe we should do that, Karen. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
New ideas. All
Yeah.
right. This has
Okay.
been awesome. A lot of fun. Mary,
I know,
you're
I love talking to you too.
love chatting with you.
Thank you.
And
Thank you, Mary. It was
we're-
lovely seeing you.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I like your backdrop red. It's good.
We've got all the details for Mary down below in the comments. And so if anybody needs to get in touch, just click those links. And yeah, have a good year, Mary. We'll talk soon.
He's the
Let's
greatest.
get back, let's get
He's
back
the
to work.
greatest.
Yeah,
I
let's get
know.
back to work. We're not doing any work while we're on here. Come on.
That's all right.
Come on.
Okay, thanks, kids.
See ya.
Bye.
Okay, bye.